What up? It's a Dropping Dimes podcast. I'm your host, Mark Veer, and welcome to episode number 25. We're in season 3 with old and current players and not too better players to have on the boys' side. We've got Kingston, Flemings, Cowgill. Fellas, how we doing?
Pretty good.
I appreciate you both coming on. Before we get started, big news, big announcement. Kingston, congratulations. Gatorade Player of the Year just came out, and here we are. I was able to get you on tonight, so no better time to do that. I believe you are the first one since Shaq. I did some research back in 1989. He was the one to get it before that. And then you're in the same kind of talks as Tatum and Cooper Flag. Just talk a little bit about that, how that news came out, and just kind of your thoughts.
So my trainer at school told me it was out on Thursday, and I knew I had a pretty good chance of getting it. I think I had a pretty good chance at McDonald's too, so I didn't want to get my hopes too high up. So going into high school, that was definitely one of my goals. Like my dad had me sit down and like put some goals out and like list everything that I wanted to do, like before this year especially. So that was one of my goals. So reaching it meant a lot. It was great to have it.
Yeah, congrats. It makes no sense. How are you going to be Gatorade Player of the Year, but not a McDonald's All-American? Not going to get started on that. It's crazy, but I'm glad you got all the props that you deserve for having a fantastic high school career. And we'll dive into everything from Brandon and your relationships and all that good stuff. Cam, we'll start with you. Let's just talk about your basketball journey. I've asked everybody that's come on here as a player, just kind of how it started for you. Obviously, we'll dive into you playing for your dad, but just talk about how basketball came about and your journey up till today.
Yeah, my dad was working at UTSA for a while. When I was first born, he was there, and then until I was about 6, he was there. And he would take me up with him. I don't remember that much. And then he got the girls' job at Brennan, and he would take me up to Brennan every day, and I would just like sit in the bleachers and watch the girls practice, and then I would like do the ball handling with them and all that stuff, and then I would do my own workout after at like 6:30. We would just be working out till I finish, and I think that's kind of where I fell in love. But we started dribbling when I was about 3, like just in my house with whatever balls he brought home from UTSA or whatever. And I don't know how much I liked it then. I think I just did it because I had to, but I feel like I really started to enjoy it at 6, 7.
Okay, then talk a little bit. I think it's the elk shooting. I remember seeing a lot of that. You've always been a great shooter.
Yeah. My dad and my aunt and uncle did it when they were younger. So when I got to like 8, I think my dad was like, "Okay, we're gonna have you do this." And I was tiny then. Like they had us shooting from like a little line, like in front of the free throw line, and I was like hoisting it up there. I didn't do very good. I think I made it to like the 3rd round and lost it. But after that, like we started taking it seriously. I started working at it every day. I think I won the nationals the next year, and then I got 2nd, and then I won it again, and then COVID happened, and that was kind of the end. But yeah, it was fun. It was a good experience. I'm grateful for it.
Okay, awesome. All right, same question for you, King. How did kind of basketball start for you?
I'd say early on, I played I didn't really start out playing a lot of sports, but I think watching my brother. So I think, watching my brother play football, and I kind of just followed everything he did. So I think he played basketball, and then I wanted to just kind of play with him. So I think starting with that, just playing rec league and stuff, not rec league, it's like little like organizations like that. I was always like fast and stuff, but I don't think I really started working at basketball till like I think 5 or 6. I want to play with my brother, main thing. So I think that kind of helped me with like my passing and all that. Because at that age, I couldn't get the ball to the rim. So if I wanted to play with them, I just gotta find a way to get them the ball. So I think worked on my passing and everything like that. So I think main thing for me was following my brother's foot. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, we talked a little bit off pod. We'll continue with you, King, and then Cam, you can talk on the back end. I want to talk about your middle school days. I just found this out, and we kind of laughed a little bit about it. But you guys actually went through some struggles in those times. So kind of talk to everybody about that.
But before like 5th grade, where it was all based on just skill and how you knew basketball, we were killing, because like puberty wasn't a thing. The height really didn't matter that much. But when it hit 6th grade and Houston Hoops got a kid named like Gucci, and you're playing these people that are like dunking in 6th grade, they're big, they got beards, and our team, we weren't really growing. Like our whole team, none of us hit puberty at that age. So I think like early on, like I think like 6th through kind of 8th, like the best teams are usually the teams that hit puberty early. So I think in that time was a like struggle for sure. Like we were smaller, just weighed less. Couldn't really do the things we used to do. So I think it was for sure a struggle at that point.
Yeah, I didn't know you guys actually struggled during that time. I just thought, Cam and King have always had a really successful kind of career from when you started young all the way now. So it's kind of good to hear that, and other people, listeners understanding when that puberty doesn't hit at that young age, it's tough to kind of navigate through that. Cam, kind of talk a little bit about it as well.
Yeah, like you said, like with the puberty and us being small, like that was definitely a factor. And then another thing was like we were going through a bunch of coaching changes at that time. Like, like it had always been my dad up to that point. And then it hit a point where he couldn't coach us anymore. So we had Coach Ward coaching us, and then he couldn't do it. And then we had Coach Ray, and then I think we got Coach Dev at like all in like that 3-year span. And it was like we were just struggling. We were losing to teams that we had always been beating. It was embarrassment.
Yeah, for sure.
That's good to hear. It happens, right? But obviously, you guys came out pretty fine going through some adversity. That gets me into the next subject. Let's talk about Cam, you playing for your dad. So I actually met your dad the day he moved here. I was over at UTSA, and then he came as the director ops. The day he got here, I got to meet him. So I've known him a long time. And I remember you guys running around the gym. But a lot of people have asked this question, and we've had coaches on, we've had players, but talk about how it is playing for your dad and how you kind of separate that relationship between dad and coach.
I think it's good. There were definitely a lot of struggles. Like, I mean, it was always one thing, like when we would just like work out and it was just me and him and it was kind of whatever. But I mean, I enjoyed it sometimes. I hated it sometimes. But when I got to Brennan, especially, that's where it was like different. It was like real because I mean, coming in as a freshman, I really didn't want it to be like you're only on the team because you're the coach's son. Like that was a big like fear of mine. So I felt like I had to be perfect even in practice. Like I didn't want to do like the talking back, and I don't think I did a very good job of that, especially like freshman sophomore year. But I mean, I thought it just took a lot of time for us to find the balance between coach and dad on and off the court. Like being able to separate it from on the court, he's my coach. I need to listen to him. I need to respect what he says. And then off the court, he can be dad. We can do family time, all that good stuff. And I think we found a good balance.
Yeah, I agree. It's similar to LA. I don't know if you heard she said the same thing. She struggled with her mom like freshman, sophomore year, and they both kind of grew and became,
because it's just always been like it was like he was just my work. I would just work out with him, so I would just say stuff back when he would like heckle me and stuff. But then we get to high school, and he's not. It's not just me and him; it's a whole team, and he has to treat me the same as he treats all the rest of his players, and I am expected to act just like I'm one of the players too. So it was definitely different.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing it. King, let's talk a little bit about your family. We had Bella on last week. She talked about how close the Flemings are, and you've got a kind of wide base. You've got an older brother you look up to. She looks up to you, and then the younger ones look up to her. So it's kind of a cool little kind of thing you got going on. But just talk about the importance and how basketball is important in your household.
Yeah, I mean, starting from the top, my brother, me, and my sister, I think, especially me and my sister, we worked out like a lot. Like a lot of the time, it was like when we first started, it was really me. My sister didn't really like basketball, but my dad was going to make her do something. She wanted to be, I think, a cheerleader. And Bella's not really the cheerleader type as you see now. But so I think when she started working out with me, her not really liking it at the beginning. So I think just like trying to make it fun. I feel like if the game of basketball isn't fun, like you're never going to want to work at it, want to be good, want to be great at all. So I think just trying to make it fun for, my little sisters, Bella, and then as we go on, she's great. She's great on her side too. So I think just competing. I mean, we're a competitive family, just like Cam and them are. So I think, one game she has like 40 something against Clark. I want to try to do the same thing and we play like San Marcos or something like that. So I think, just constantly competing with each other just helps us both get better.
Yeah, I love it. And I'm like you said, fun. I mean, it's a simple word, but I think a lot of people, there's a lot of pressure on you guys that you kind of lose that aspect. So I want to talk about your two relationship. I think you guys have had a lot of fun with basketball, but I'm sure you guys have been through a lot. To me, you guys are like brothers. You've just grown up since I've met you guys super young. Cam, talk about your relationship and how it's helped you both get to where you are today.
I think we first met at an Admirals practice.
You did?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we were real young. And I was like, I was going there, like, I don't remember how old the kids were we were going against. And I was like, I can't, these kids are just a lot bigger and better than me. And then I saw King and we just like we were just going at it. The rest, I hated him with a passion at the start. But then, we started working out together a lot. Like every day he would come up to Brendan and we would work out together. It was very competitive. It was fun at times. It was not fun at times. Definitely lost our heads a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Getting into fighting quite a bit over the years, but it was good. He would come over for like stay the night on NBA draft night. He would play fantasy football with my family, so I think it's always been a close bond.
Yeah, for sure. King, you want to add into it?
Yeah, speaking on the Admirals thing, so I remember the first time I think we go to the Admirals practice, and my mom went with me. It wasn't my dad. So my mom wasn't like super into basketball at the time, so she didn't really know exactly what to say. So my dad ended up asking me, and I kind of gave him the rundown of everything. And I was like, there was a boy my age, like, because everyone was bigger than all of us. I was like, there's a white boy our age. He's super skilled, like not like me, but he's just he's just slow and can't get things off. So that's how I was staying. And then I don't know how things got to things. And then my dad ended up getting on Coach Cody because Coach Cody obviously knows a lot. And my dad at the time didn't really know a lot. Like even when he played, he was athletic and stuff, but he didn't know a lot. He's like researched a lot. And being with Coach Cody has helped. So I think with me and Cam, we go up to Brennan. We would play like tennis in the morning. Cam
Yeah,
would play against his dad. I would play against Cades. Cades would used to kill me. He would kill me in tennis. So
he's
we go from
terrible.
that to working out in the gym, shooting, and there was days where I'm like crying and Coach Cody's like yelling at me for like being soft and things like that. But I think it helped us get where we are now. I think we worked on a lot of things. Like we used to work on a drill, like we would guard each other, and Coach Cody would have us do it in like multiples. So we'd be
Yeah,
like multiply by three while the other person's guarding. If you get a 5 second count, like you lose. So I think that helps in like late game situations where like trying to waste time and clock. So I think the little things he did like helped us a lot. Like we used to do 1-on-1 like around chairs, and it was like time we didn't know, but it was like screens, it was like pin downs or Iversons, and he's just teaching that at a young age. So I think our bond just constantly grew, and I think where we are now is like we have a constant like understanding. Like if I'm on the court with him at the same time, like I'll drive somewhere and I don't even know he's there, but I'll look and he's just right there, like in my line of sight. So I think we've played each other so much that we kind of just know our ins and outs and everything.
Yeah, I agree. It's a fun story because we had both your dads on, and we talked about the Admiral days. You guys were in kindergarten
Yeah,
when you
man.
played for me, and you were playing like 2-3 grades up. And eventually, at some point, it's like, okay, you can't be playing against kids, 3 times your size. So that's when you started the Little Bears, and the rest is future. And it's been really nice for me seeing you guys in kindergarten to where you are today and how well you play together. I mean, I'm extremely proud of both of you, and it's just really good. Here's what the issue for me is, though, and it's going to be a tough question for you, is this is the kind of the end of you two playing with each other. You played with each other since kindergarten for I don't know how many years, and then you've got your last tournament coming up. So let's talk a little bit about that, and then we'll dive into college. So, Cam, educate everybody about the Throne. It's obviously a invite only. It's a national event. I think there's 8 teams, and it's just a tournament style bracket, right? Is that how it's working?
yeah. I think they went tournament style, single elimination. They tried to get the top 8 teams. I know some teams like Columbus couldn't be there. What was it? The one with Joe Sterling and Nick
Harvard Westlake.
Westlake. Yeah, they weren't going to be there. Those are 2 I wanted to play. But I mean, there are some good teams. Grayson, who we play first, Lehigh, Allen's there. There's a lot of good teams in it.
Who y'all got first, just so people can know?
Grayson.
Okay, so if you win, you continue. You lose, you're done, right? That's how it's looking like. Do you know who y'all play next? The winner?
Probably Lehigh.
Okay, and then it possibly could be a ship in the championship with Allen. Does that sound right?
Potentially.
Potentially, okay, because we won't talk about it. I know that was going to be the potential state final, and both of you guys kind of got upset. We won't talk about it. I get it, right? But hopefully, you guys have another opportunity here. You deserve it, right? Because national team, you deserve to have this opportunity. So I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys do. I wish you the best, and hopefully, you guys get to the championship. And hopefully, you get to see Allen. That would be just great for Texas basketball. So let's talk about you guys playing up, right? You've always played up. Both of you, from grassroots, pretty much, even when you're both freshmen on varsity, right? How has that helped you kind of mold yourself today?
Yeah, I think like I see some kids nowadays, and they kind of want to be on teams where they want to succeed immediately. So I think our parents did well. I mean, we're obviously young kids, so we weren't thinking about it, but having us struggle. So I think struggle like creates change. So I think working on with players 3 years older and they're faster, like more physical, just better than us at everything. We have to find different ways to score. So I think, or just really even play on the court. So I think really playing up has helped us just throughout everything. Like even freshman year of high school, we've been playing up our whole lives. It got to the point where like we're used to kids being stronger than us, bigger than us. So we already know how to get what we want to get like throughout the game. So I think our parents help with it a lot. So I mean, playing up, when I have kids, I'll for sure want them to do it. I feel like kids nowadays and parents should want to do it too. I think it's hard to see your kid like struggle playing on teams like that, but you shouldn't want success right now when it can completely change when you're 18, 17, 18 years old. So it really matters when you're right now, where you are, where me and Cam are at. So I think working on that earlier just helped us get where we are right now.
Yeah, love it. Struggle creates change. Great stuff. Really good advice. You guys were like so skilled. I said this to Coach Devon when you guys were up here playing a little 4-on-4 league. I think you were in 3rd or 4th grade. Making plays. I'm like, how are these guys, and you were still playing up, making like one hand cross court passes out of pick and rolls. Like it all makes sense because you guys were always doing it. It's funny that you said there were chairs out there. I didn't know it was a screen. There was chairs out there. It was a pin down. How they kind of programmed you So Cam, talk a little bit about that, your younger age with the things you were working on, and then also the importance of playing up and being highly skilled that made you super successful. Because you both said it. I mean, at that age, you were not as fast, not as big, but obviously your skill set was just on another level.
Yeah, I mean, I think they knew, like, I mean, they put us in on those teams to play up, so we would struggle, but they also did a lot of stuff with us in our workouts to get our skills up, because they knew, like, obviously we're not going to be bigger, we're not going to be faster, we're not going to be stronger. So if we can be more skilled than them, then we're going to find ways to succeed. So like in the like in the tournaments we would play up. Like I think it just got to a point where we were just so skilled that we were just drilling teams just purely off our skill. Even like in the city, like even though they were sixth grade, we're fourth grade, like it just wasn't much competition because we just outskilled them, and that was something that they instilled in us from, I mean, since we started working out. I like what he was talking about with the screens, like it was just stuff that we didn't realize what it was going to be, but they knew, they saw what it was supposed to be. I mean, both of them now especially are really smart. They really know what they're talking about. I think we always put our trust in them, so worked out for the best.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think any, younger kids looking up to you guys need to really focus on their skill development. They play too many games today, not in the gym enough. So it's great to hear from you guys when you guys were that young, that skill development was at the kind of top thing on your agenda. Next question, let's talk about national schedule. You guys have got to experience some pretty cool things over your high school career that not most get to do, right? So you've gone to different states. You've played against national teams. I mean, awesome. It's great for the city, great for Brennan, just great for you guys. I want to talk about the shot clock. Did you guys play in shot clock environments in other states?
I don't know if we did for high school. For AAU, we definitely did.
Okay, so
For
talk
high
about
school, I'm not sure.
In DC, we did.
DC, you
We
did?
did?
I think
Well,
so.
yeah.
I want to talk about the shot clock, right? It's going to come. You guys are out, right? So no more for you, but it's going to come to San Antonio, Texas at some point. Talk to me a little bit about how that has maybe possibly helped you get into college. Do you like it for high school, or just your thoughts on that?
I mean, for a team like us, I'd for sure say I wish we had shot clock since freshman year. There was there was definitely some games where, I mean, it was smart from the other team. We play faster. That's how we excel. So I think slowing the game down helps other teams for sure. But I mean, that doesn't really help players and teams when it gets to the next level. So I think playing with a shot clock, even in practice, like for AAU, we would do some drills where you have like 8 seconds to go score. So just trying to consistently play fast. I think that'll help us when we get to the next thing. But I think playing in AAU, just shot clock, I think, especially how me and Cam play, I like playing fast, and then we like getting points on the board. So I think if I could play with shot clock, my whole life, I would have for sure wanted to do that.
Okay, good. Cam, same question.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like we've always played real fast, and that's kind of get out in like Kingston kicking it up the court to me kicking it up the court to him. I think that's really been our go to. So I mean, like you saw, like what we were putting up this year, especially in district. Like I think it would just been a lot worse with shot clock. But I like that it got us ready for the next level, and it was never really a problem with us. Like in the summer when we were playing with Future, Puma had the shot clock, and I don't think we got a single shot clock violation the entire summer. That was just never a problem for us just because of how we played. So I think it did help us get ready, but I think we were already getting ready and getting prepared by them just pushing us to play faster all our lives.
Yeah, I love it. Totally agree. Okay. What's your favorite game or memory? It could be AAU or high school. Anything that pops out to you.
There have been a lot of good games that we've played. The Duncanville game
That's what I was gonna say. I ain't
sophomore
gonna lie.
year was probably one of the most fun games I've ever played. I mean, just the people we were playing against, like the magnitude playing against Ron Holland and being on the court with people like that, or even KJ Lewis, who's at Arizona right now. I think that was good. I think the most memorable game of my high school career was the Beaumont United game, though. I mean, probably it wasn't fun at all for me. I did not enjoy that game, but it's definitely one that I've done a lot of reflecting on, and I learned the most from that game. I played terrible. I missed I airballed the last shot to put us in the state final. I just think that I took that to heart. I think I learned the most from that game, so it's probably the most memorable for that reason.
I want to talk about that. I appreciate you bring that up. Okay. So a lot of people would think of a memorable game with like you dropped 30 or 40, or you've had multiple games where you've made, close to 10 threes, right? That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's a very mature for you to bring up a game like that. So how did that help you kind of mold and, some adversity going into your senior year?
Yeah, I mean, I came back. I mean, that was even like going into my junior year because that was my sophomore year.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, my dad like tore down how I was shooting and just like rebuilt it back up. And then after it was built back up, he was just in me going at like anytime I was like losing it mentally, he would just bring up the Beaumont game, like, "Oh, you're gonna be crying again at the end of this year. Like, you keep it up like that. Like, you'd be crying after the Beaumont game. Like, it was just on me. I think it was just like ingrained in my head. Like, I just was not gonna be able to forget it. And only way I could get past it was to go out and perform the next year. And then junior year didn't end how he wanted. So it was again like he was on me about I missed a free throw at the end of the Stony Point game that would have put us up by 3 instead of 2. They hit a 3 and won the game. So he was on me for that, just like not letting me forget, but trying to help me get past it. And I think it fueled my performances each of the last 2 years.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. King, same question for you. Any favorite game or memory?
Favorite game from high school? I think this year, low-key this year, we played Allen. That was a fun game.
That was
I
fun.
didn't like the gym we played in. We were down Donnie. We were down Zeke. We were playing with people that, like, Time was starting with us, and he's not usually a starter. G played a lot of minutes. Or, like, that game was fun. So I think there's a bunch of people there. Cam was showing out in that game. I was showing out. Our whole team, we showed up for that game. We ended up going to overtime. And then another one for high school also this year was Dynamic. That game was fun for sure. I think some of our players were in foul trouble that game. That's a national ranked team, like a top. They're in Chipotle Nationals right now. I think they could make a run for sure. But for high school, definitely those games. I think just the way we competed in those games against best teams in Texas. I think we really showed who we are and who we're meant to be. So I think those are for sure my favorite games for high school.
Okay, cool. Let's talk a little bit about AAU in high school. A little different with you two because most people I talk to about AAU in high school, they don't have the same teammates. You guys actually have somewhat of a similar team, right? I love that you guys have been playing together all year, high school and AAU, even before that. So, kind of talks about your experience. Cam, you can go first about how that's kind of helped you guys over the last, I don't know, man, close to a decade with Future and Brennan.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely built our chemistry. I mean, we've had a lot of changing parts, especially, I mean, 17s. We only Brennan kids on our team were me and King. Zeke played with us a little bit, but for most of high school, I think it was pretty much just me and King were the only Brennan kids on our team, and then we had like Zeke in town, and then we're on the team right below us where most of the other Brennan kids were. But I mean, definitely just building chemistry, like you said, like the last decade, it's been me and King. I think, like he mentioned earlier, like we just know where we're gonna be at all times. Like he doesn't have to look where I'm going to be. I don't have to look to know where he's going to be. I just find my spot. I know he's going to find me. And I think that's just something that was built up over the years. And it wasn't always easy. Like we had our struggles in middle school. We had a lot of struggles at the start of this past season with King being hurt and just trying to find our way as a new team. But I mean, I think it for sure built our chemistry.
Okay. And then, so King, let's talk a little bit about Brennan, the culture. And I think a lot of people didn't understand how good you guys were from top to bottom. Yes, everybody knows you two. Yes, they know Zeke, Donnie, Talon. But man, you got some kids on that team that, I mean, I've said this on other podcasts. I believe your second unit would beat a lot of high school teams in San Antonio, maybe all of them. I'm just being real. So kind of talk about the culture at Brennan, how loaded your team is, and how those practices and just those day-to-day workouts look like.
Yeah, I think some of the players that didn't play a lot, like you might think they're not like just great because they don't play, but they're tough. Like you playing in AAU, like Trey, for example, doesn't play a lot, but he scored 40 this year in AAU. He had multiple 30-point games in AAU. So we have players on that team. So in practice, like the practices are so competitive, even more competitive than most of our games have been. So I think just like that's really why I think we were as good as we were this year. Where it's like if we're not locked in every single day at practice, like Trey's gonna go off for 4 or 5 threes and we're gonna end up be running, or Gianni's gonna make a move, get to the rim, or something like that, or Jake. So like we have players on our team that if they were to go to another high school in San Antonio, they could be the guy. But I think them kind of making the sacrifice and staying here, staying with the team. I wanted to get them a state title, couldn't end up doing that. But I think how we were this year and how good of a team we were, I feel like those players are like especially to blame. Just working against them every single day, pushing us every single day. So that's for sure
Yeah,
what happened.
love it. Great answer. Cam, you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, the competitiveness is like we knew coming into the year that it was going to have to be on us. And I think previous years have been the coaches writing us. And this year we knew we were going to have to be self motivated. And I think the second group really did help with that. Like, player like Jake and Trey, they would kill us some days. And coaches are just ripping us for it. And I mean, it for sure made us better because, I mean, we play these other Northside schools and it's not a shot at them, but we're not seeing players like Jake. Like, I mean, Jake would be the starting point guard anywhere else in the city. I think he's the best player in his sophomore. I think he's the best sophomore in the city for sure. And I mean, he was coming off the bench for us. He gave great minutes, great defensive energy, and he definitely pushed us in practice to be better defensively just because of the things he can do. Same with Trey, same with G, even Vontae. Vontae, super athletic, crashes the boards. Definitely pushed us to reach the heights that we did this season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Brennan looks like without you guys and how much you've pushed them and how much they've grown. I think Brennan's going to be around. I know losing you two is big for Brennan, but I'm actually really curious to see how they do.
Yeah, they'll win district next year. I think they'll make a deep run in playoffs. They have more than enough. I don't know who anybody else has, but I think they can win it if they're really locked in. I think they can win it.
All right, stamped it, approved. All right, we'll definitely keep up with him next year. All right, let's talk about recruiting. Two Division I players in the class, the only ones in the city. And we've talked on other podcasts about that, good or bad. I think San Antonio needs to produce more college athletes. I don't know about Division I athletes. I don't know if people think how hard it is. King, let's start with you. How was the process for you? It was funny because LA and your sister were talking about how their phones blowing up. They had to have a schedule. So was it stressful for you, or has it been pretty straightforward?
So I'll say my first offer was freshman year. We played at TMI, and we had played some people that were going to UIW, and that was my first offer. And then I didn't end up getting another offer till after sophomore year. And then that summer, I kind of blew up a little bit. But I think for me, I'm a little different than my sister because my sister was, since like 8th grade, was on the map. So like she already had coaches wanting to text, wanting to call. So I think when the deadline hit, I had coaches calling me and texting me, but it wasn't to the extent as LA and Bella. So I think as time went on, it gets a little stressful. Sometimes you're in class and they're trying to call you because they don't know your schedule and everything like that. So I think, it's a blessing for it to be stressful, for me to be stressed about, coaches calling me. So I think, I'm blessed for it to be like that. So I think it wasn't super stressful. Like I think at times it was, but I had fun with it, playing with my teammates, them boosting me and me being able to be a prospect like that. It was fun.
Okay. And then before I ask you, Cam, why Houston? Why did you decide? I love the fit, but just curious why you decided to go there.
I was just thinking off like this year with our team. I think this is the most fun I've had in high school of any other year, and I think it was every single day at practice, going into practices like years prior, like sometimes you just like me personally, I think I just wanted to get through it, which isn't like good. But this year, like I would woke up every single day just like I was excited to play against who I was playing against. I was excited to compete and everything like that. And I think Houston is the epitome of that in college. Everyone says their practices are the craziest. You see how they play defense. It doesn't matter if they're playing one of the worst teams in college or if they're playing Duke. They're going to play as hard every single time. So I think going to the next level and playing for coaches like that and a system like that where they've had players like Jamal Shedd who didn't have any stars out of high school, where now he's in the NBA playing significant minutes for the Raptors, or people like Marcus Sasser or Quentin Grimes who's going off right now. So I think them having the guard pedigree that they have, I feel like if they can help them and I can go there, I can help myself and they can help me also. So I think doing all that, and then most important for me is like I want to win. I want to have a chance to win a national championship. And I think as long as I do what I'm supposed to do and Houston continues to do what it's supposed to do, we will be in that category.
I'm looking forward to seeing you play that again. I think it's a great fit. Really good choice. All right, Cam, for you, let's talk a little bit about your recruiting process. A little different, right? Let's just be real. A little different.
So.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't have any of that stressing about coaches calling me or anything. It must be nice. It was different. I love my journey. I think it was very beneficial to who I am as a player now. But it was stressful in the sense that I thought I should have been getting more attention. I thought I should have been getting offered. Like I was, especially 15th. I didn't really expect anything. 16th, I had games where I was going for 40 with 20 coaches on the sideline or on the baseline. I think I had bunch of big games that year, and I thought it was just going to convert to like P5 offers and this and that. And when it didn't happen, I think it stressed me out a lot, and it dripped into my like how I was acting in my workouts and stuff. And that's something my dad helped me realize. Like it's not going to come right away. Not very athletic. Definitely defense wasn't amazing. Like that's stuff that they look at. And so I think it was kind of just like I need to work. I need to not worry about the offers. The fit will come. The right place will come eventually as long as I perform. And so, it kind of just like put my head down and work. this year, and then it came eventually.
Yeah, good answer. I love it. Yeah, super mature the way to think about it. And I get it, right? And it's hard not to compare. I'm sure you're looking at other kids getting offers. You're like, okay, I'm better than them. I'm having better games. But I love what you said. Hey, control what you can, put your head down, and just get to work. So let's talk a little bit about Sacramento State, right? That was the decision you went to go. Talk to us a
Yes,
little
sir.
bit about that and why you made that decision.
Yeah, I mean, they had shown the most interest this high school season. Who thumbs up for? They had shown the most interest this high school season, and I took my visit out there. I really liked it. I enjoyed the staff. I enjoyed the players. I thought it was a good group, and I thought it was a place where I could go and impact winning. I mean, they haven't won a lot recently, but I think going in as a freshman, I'm gonna work to earn minutes and try and move the needle there. I think it's a place I can definitely do that.
Okay, love it. All right, cool. All right, well, appreciate you both sharing your recruiting process. A lot of people wanted to know about it, so it's good to hear and kind of touch on that for listeners. Let's dive into some Q&As. You didn't get as much as your Bella in LA. They got like 50, but you got quite a lot that came in. So I kind of picked the ones that I thought would be good for you to answer. What do you think the most important skill is in today's game?
Shooting.
Of course,
Yeah,
it's a
I mean,
premium, right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
why though?
Yeah. I mean, obviously that's what I do, so I'm gonna say that's the most important. But I mean, you watch the NBA, like they're getting shots up. I mean, the best players are the ones that shoot the best, and for smaller guards, you have to be able to shoot to go play at the next level if you want to go D1. Like for sure, something you got to do. Like people like Mark Sears, not the biggest players, but can really shoot it. And you see how they're playing.
Different answer, King, or you the same?
I think it depends on the position, like the position you play. So I think like for me, a point guard, I guess it's not really a basketball skill, but I think as a point guard, you have to know all your teammates. Like if you don't know your teammates as a point guard, you can't really help them in certain ways. Just where they like the ball, like shots that they can hit, like spots they like to shoot from. I think you need to learn like that. And I think another important skill, I think for me, I think the most important I'd say actually is I think competitiveness is a skill. I think wanting to compete all the time, for every rebound, for every possession. I think if you compete, you'll always be able to just play wherever you go. You're with someone that competes, like for example, Cameron Garza, who played with us, he goes to Jay. He's one of the best competitors I've ever been around. Sometimes he was a little out of shape, things like that will come off like injuries, but it didn't matter if he was tired. It didn't matter if he just came off an injury. When he's in the game, he's competing 100% of the time. So I think in games we're playing against some of the top teams like Cooper Flag, or we're playing against some other team that's not really as well known. I know exactly what I'm getting from Cam Garza because he's going to compete the whole time, and I can play with someone like that. So I think that's for sure important, and coaches look at that for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Love it. Great answers. I agree. I've talked to a lot of coaches and basketball people, and from a basketball standpoint, shooting's a premium. Everyone said that in today's game, and then toughness and competing. So those are really good answers. Thanks. All right, next one. Let's talk about life outside of basketball. We know it's important that you got to have some kind of life outside of basketball. Bella and LA really talked about knowing themselves outside of the game, and at some point the basketball will stop bouncing, right? But King, talk to us a little bit about what you do outside of basketball and the importance it is to you.
I think for me, outside of basketball, I just like messing with my siblings or just doing anything with my siblings, really. Just like for me, definitely if you ask Bella, ask Katie and Ro, I just like getting on their nerves in little ways. Like I just know like that's fun for me, just being around them every single day. Like one of them about to come in the door right now. Like once we get all this, I'll probably mess with them. Like it's my brother, but I'll mess with him in ways like that too. So I think, spending time with my family, I think that's for sure for me. Like I don't like doing a lot of things, but family's for sure one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Things like that.
Exactly what Bella said. Yeah, you guys are a tight family, and I love that. Cam, same question for you.
Yeah, no, I don't really do anything outside of basketball. I mean, I think me and King both, we work out a lot. Work out before practice, we got practice. After school, we got lifts or more workouts and stuff. After that, I come home, I'm ready to do. I sit on the couch, I watch TV. I mean, I'll hang out with my family, we eat dinner together, we watch movies, go and play with my little 4 and 6. I'll play basketball with them because that's all they want to do now. I think that's easily the thing that I do the most. I take naps. Naps are a huge thing. I think I come home every day from school, I take a nap. Every day.
That's what I heard in the last podcast. Hey, when you get to my age, man, you ain't getting no naps, man. I am so jealous of all these naps that you get. But yeah, recovery's huge. We won't talk about that. You guys both take care of your body, so napping is definitely a premium. And you'll probably get to do a lot in college too. I'm sure you'll go there and figure out your schedule and get your naps in. Next question is advice for young athletes. And it was a very similar question and what we got from Bella and LA. Top 2 girls in the city, top 2 boys in the city. A lot of young athletes look up to you guys. and you both are very humble. I've known you since kindergarten, but I don't think you maybe understand the importance of what you say, how you handle yourself, and how these kids in San Antonio look up to you, and just all over the country. Talk to us a little bit about any advice you would give to an athlete that's looking up to you and listening to this.
Yeah, I think it's focus on your work. I think especially in today, I see it a lot. Like people are showing out for all the cameras at their games. They're trying to get on all the highlights and stuff. I look at that and it doesn't. I'm not gonna say it doesn't impress me. It just doesn't like rub me the right way. Like you're worried about the exposure, and it's a lot of like even in elementary they're doing. I think just focus on the work, focus on getting better. Like I know we had a lot of camera crews and creators and stuff at our games this year, but I think one of our biggest things was just we're gonna do us. We're not showing out for the people coming. We're gonna play how we play and show what we can do. And especially at the young age, like people are going out to these tournaments, they're filming. I think it's just display what you can do and then go back and work on what you need to work on and let that be your main focus. Don't be worried about how many followers you got or who's coming out to watch you. Like it doesn't ultimately in the end it doesn't matter. People don't care about that stuff. College coaches don't care about that stuff. So focus on the work.
Yeah, I love it. We've talked a lot about social media and it's hurting kids, so it's good for you to kind of touch on that as well. King, anything different?
Yeah, I'll say for me, like I agree with him, focusing on the work. I think just constantly putting your head down, work on your game, everything like that, and you'll get where you want to be. But one of the things I like a lot that I've been saying in a lot of interviews is comparison is a thief of joy. So I think you can have role models or people you look up to, but you should never compare yourself to someone else. Like you should never compare yourself to me or where I'm at in my basketball journey, or even Cam. Like people have gotten to places through. There's tons of places to play basketball. You could go JUCO and get places. Like Derek White, I think went JUCOs in the NBA, or Jimmy Butler went JUCOs in the NBA. And there's people that go P5 and McDonald's All-Americans that like don't really pan out. So I think everyone's journey is different. And if you really put your head down and work on yourself and work on who you are, you'll get to where you want to be. So I think, yeah, just don't compare yourself to other people. Yeah, I think like especially this year, like I'd say like early this year, I'm looking at the rankings and I like started noticing it myself. Like I see this person, like you can like have goals. Like you see this person in front of you, you want to play them, you want to kill them, but you should never compare where you're at to where someone else is at because their journey is different than what your journey is. So I think just what Cam said, put your head down and work.
Love it. Yeah, great answers. Good. Okay, next one. Dual sport athletes. I don't know if you. I think you may have done track and soccer. I remember your parents were talking about it on the podcast, but were you guys dual sport athletes? And then when did basketball become a main sport for you? And just if you have any thoughts on being dual sport, good or bad?
I think being dual sports great. I think it helps in a lot of ways. I think I played soccer, I ran track, played football, I played lacrosse a little bit. I played t-ball, never baseball, but I think just playing tons of sports helps in all different ways. Like me and Cam played soccer with Ed, and I think that was fun. So I think for me, I played football up until 8th grade. I say I really started focusing on basketball like 6th grade, like just basketball. Like I stopped really playing like organized football. I played for my school at Luna because it was like a school sport, but I didn't play like organized. I started focusing mainly on basketball. But I think like as a kid, like younger, like I for sure think you should play a lot of sports. But when it gets to a certain point, I think you should definitely focus on one thing because there's some freak athletes out there that can do tons of different things, but not everyone's like that. So I think focusing on one thing when you get to a certain point, or maybe if you just like playing sports for fun, like not everyone has to make the college playing basketball or playing football. You can just do it for fun. Everyone's different, but I think being dual sports is great.
Yeah. Growing up, my main sport was tennis for sure. We would go up every morning before our summer workouts and hit tennis balls, like King had said. I took it more seriously than him. Him and Cades would just play on the other court and just hit it back and forth and like mess around and whatnot. But I would like work at it with my dad, and it helped me a lot. Like working on playing angles. There's a huge mental aspect that goes into tennis that I was never really able to quite figure out. But I think it did help to a certain degree. And then I kind of did that up until end of elementary probably is when I started just going straight basketball. And I never like looked at tennis like I was gonna play tennis in college. The basketball was always like the goal, but it was also something that I just did. Like I tried out for tennis my freshman year, and I made the team, but then I just like never went. I just tried out just to see if I could make it, and then that was it. So I think it's really good to play a lot of sports growing up because there's so many skills that you can acquire outside of like hand-eye coordination, physicality, things that you might not get playing basketball at a young age, but you'll get playing other sports.
Okay. When your basketball career is over, you will be playing pickleball. I can tell you that till you're probably
Nah,
like
I don't
80.
like
Yeah, you will.
pickleball. I
No,
don't
you
like
will.
pickle. I
We
played
got
it, and the rules are too complicated. I'll do tennis. My grandma, she's getting older. She still does tennis every day. She'll work every single person in my family at tennis. Still, you're terrible.
I'm just saying,
Was terrible. It's different now.
we'll get you
Is it?
guys out to play some pickleball. We're building some pickleball courts out in the front at the factory. So when your playing days are over, Cam, we'll get out here and we'll play. I was a big tennis player, so I love it. All right, next question for y'all. Would you
We'll see.
guys done anything different? Yeah, we'll see. Don't worry. Would you guys done anything different on your journey up to this point? King, you can go.
I'd say not at all. I think, early on, I think my parents did everything right with Coach Cody, finding Coach Cody, working out with Cam. And then I think me and Cam were blessed to be like, I think growing late is a blessing. I think, we were so small, we had to find ways to play as small guards. So we end up growing, and how we are now, we can play more physical, stuff like that. My journey, absolutely not. I think, especially after last year, any prep school you can think of, like any of the top prep schools, hit us up, me, my dad, but there was not a single instance where I was thinking of going to another school. Just staying here with my friends. I feel like this is the best coach I could have, best competition I could have. Just staying with San Antonio. I think tons of Texas kids, left to go to prep schools, and I'm not exactly sure how great they're doing where they're at. But I mean, I stayed the course. I mean, like, look at the people at the top players in Texas right now. I stayed the course here. Sheldon stayed the course here. Caden Edwards stayed the course here. Jaden Toombs stayed. Jermaine O'Neal Jr. stayed. Like, all these people stayed and got what they wanted and didn't have to leave and go anywhere else. So I feel like how my journey was, I wouldn't change it at all.
Yeah, and thanks for touching on that, right? That you actually did stay home for San Antonio and were successful. There's a lot of talks about kids leaving and going to prep school. We've had a lot of San Antonio kids do it. So, yeah, kudos for you for doing that and staying and repping for the city. Same question for you, Cam.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't trade any of my experiences for the world. I mean, just growing up as a coach's son, I thought that greatest thing that could have ever happened to me. Just being around the game all the time. I mean, like I said before, it was not always good. There would be nights where I wouldn't finish my workout before we would have our future practice, and then my dad would make me stay after to keep working out. And our practice ended at 9 p.m. and I'm up there working out until 12, 1, 2 a.m. just going through hell with my dad running all the 120s, then going to shoot. Wouldn't trade it for the world, though. I mean, I think it was helped create who I am today. I think it shaped my mentality as a player. I hated it then. It would hate it still if it happened again, but I would definitely not trade it out at all.
Some of me and Cam's workout stories is definitely crazy.
Oh, I bet you got
Unmatched.
so many. Yeah. Last question, then we'll go quick hitters. Who is the best player you've played against?
I mean, I've played against a lot of great, like the Ron Hollands and stuff, but I've never guarded any of them. I would especially at the end, they put me on the worst player on the court because I just wasn't defensively capable. So I'd say the best player that I've guarded is Joe Sterling. We played him this past summer in Puma. He was nice. I mean, my dad was telling me he's really good. I was like, okay, sure. And they put me on him for the game. They told me it was a big assignment, so I think I took it seriously. He's probably the best player that I've ever went head to head with.
Okay, King.
Cam said he's not a good defender, but the AAU season he was on some P5 kids and he was locking them down. I'm just gonna put that out there.
There you
But
go.
players I've played, okay, the best player that I've played against, it's probably Ron Hoggins in the NBA, but who I've guarded, Wesley Yates. I think that was Bonham United. I think it was sophomore year. I don't know how it would be if I was a senior because I was definitely smaller, scrawny, but he's doing great at USC. He was strong, could shoot, get downhill. There wasn't a lot I could do with him at all. But I mean, Josiah Mosley on Stony Point, that was one of the best players in the game they played us. Man, Zeke was guarding him and Zeke was playing great defense. You couldn't teach it any other way. Hand in face, right on him, sitting on his moves. He was just making the toughest shots. So I think that's the best game I've seen a player play against us. But best player, I'd say Wesley Yates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. All right. Well, let's close on some quick hitters. Who's older out of you two? Just curious.
Me.
He,
Yeah.
Cam is older. Okay, so
6
Cam, you will
months.
go 6 months. Okay. So Cam, you'll go first, and then King, you'll answer right after. All right. So first one, pregame snack.
Chocolate milk. I mean,
Chocolate milk.
maybe like chocolate milk and hot Cheetos. That's
Wow.
kind of what
Okay.
I went with this here. People are always like, "You're gonna feel so sick during the game." Like, nah.
Hey, it works. All right. So chocolate milk and hot Cheetos. Okay. King.
Skittles for sure, or
Skittles.
Swedish fish.
Swedish fish.
Swedish
Okay.
fish was with that.
All right. Next one. Your go-to hoop shoe, game shoe.
The CP3s. I grew up playing in the CP3s. I haven't been able to find them in a long time. I wish I could play in them.
My favorite shoe that I've ever played with, like, is definitely, I don't know exactly what Kyrie's they were, but definitely Kyrie's.
Okay.
Kyrie's, I love Kyrie's playing.
All right, next one. I think Cam, you have a girlfriend. I don't know if you do, King. You maybe I might be gonna get you in trouble here, but date with a girl or a pickup game?
Who's the pickup game with?
Your homies, your guys. See, he's being careful right now.
I'm not gonna answer.
I'm gonna say pickup game.
Okay, Cam, you avoiding it,
No, I'm not. In case she watches, I'm not gonna answer.
so you plead the fifth. All right, got you. One word to describe your game.
Savvy.
Savvy. Okay.
I'll say, I guess flexible.
Okay. All right, last one. This may take you some time. All right. So I did this one with Bella in LA. You got to pick a starting five. You're in it, so you put yourself in it, and you've got to pick 4 other players, but they cannot be. They're from San Antonio, but not from Brennan.
I can go.
Go ahead.
You said I'm on the team?
You're on the team, then you got to pick 4 players from San Antonio, but not from Brennan. Who's your squad?
Okay. At big, I just met the dude because of All-Star game. Ivan Dorn from Judson.
You're recruiting already, huh?
Well, I can't recruit because he's a 2025, so I'm not gonna be playing. But okay, shooting guard, I'm gonna go Knowledge from Harlan. I like how he plays defense. I'm gonna go Mason Thomas. Wait, can I go Mason? I can go Mason.
Yep. He's good. Mason's
Mason
good.
Thomas goes to Piper. And then I'm gonna go. I need a shooter. I love playing with shooters. So
Can't pick Cam.
I can't. Yeah.
Good.
So I'll say Zachariah Linson. So it's me, Knowledge from Harlan, Zachariah Linson, Mason Thomas, and then Ivan Dorn. Yeah.
Okay, so solid 5. All right, Cam, you?
Yeah, at my 1, Cam Garza, my guy. Me at the 2. At the 3, I'll take Mason at the 3.
Come on, you gotta do something different.
Why? I can't pick him?
He's on my team. You can't have two
You
Masons.
got to pick all 5 first, though. If you want to do it like that, we could have staggered.
You should have said staggered then.
I can see why y'all are brothers.
He's taking all my players.
Yeah,
At
Mason,
5,
Zach, and Ivan are taking off.
All right, I want Latrell. Latrell at my 5. Yeah. From Clemens. Now I'm trying to think of people we played against too. I'll go like KJ Williams from Harlan.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably should have told you ahead of time. I know it wasn't going to be easy. Fellas, I appreciate you both coming on. I'm glad I got you right before the Throne tournament coming up. I wish you the best of luck. I know everyone's going to be checking you guys out. And I really do hope that your season ends kind of how that we wanted it to. I know a little disappointing in the last 3 years, but nothing really to be disappointed about. You guys have been fantastic for San Antonio basketball. Everything you've done, I really do appreciate you both coming on. It's been really nice to see you guys grow up since kindergarten and become, really, really impressive young men. So good luck next week. Next week, we'll be keeping up with you. And again, I appreciate you taking the time, and take care.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Dropping Dimes podcast. Make sure to go follow us on IG at Dropping Dimes Pod. Remember, each Friday we'll be dropping a new episode. So hit the follow and bell notification buttons to never miss any content. Let's get better together. We out.